Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and this time we will discuss about the accounting and the bookkeeping under GST. So under GST you have to maintain a lot of accounts and record in order to comply with the GST provision. Lot of record keeping you have to maintain, and rule number 56 majorly deals with the accounting and record keeping. So let's start into it, like what kind of a record you have to maintain in order to comply with the GST provisions. Alright guys, so we shall start our video. So first type of record is like this. Rule number 56 sub rule number 2 says that you have to maintain the account of stock in respect of goods received and supplied by him, and such account shall contain the particulars of the opening balance, receipt, supply, goods lost, stolen, destroyed, written off, or disposed of by way of a gift or free sample, and the balance of stocks including the raw material, finished goods, scrap and waste thereof. So you have to maintain the record, you have to maintain the stock in respect of goods. So stock in respect of goods means stock of also the raw material, finished goods, waste and scrap. So you have to also maintain the record of this. And record means like opening balance, receipt, supply and goods lost, stolen, destroyed, written off by way of a gift or free sample. So like opening balance, receipt, supply, closing balance, you have to maintain that kind of a record. And record for all like raw material, finished goods, waste and scrap. So this thing you have to maintain under as per rule number 56 sub rule number 2. Then 56 sub rule number 1 says that you have to also maintain a true and correct account of the goods or service imported or exported, or of supplies attracting payment of tax on the reverse charge, along with the necessary documents including the invoice, bill of supply, delivery challan, credit note, debit note, receipt voucher, payment voucher and refund voucher. Also maintain the record of export or import of goods or service including like tax attracting the reverse charge. You have to also maintain the relevant document like tax invoice, debit note, credit note, receipt voucher, something like that. So maintain the account of goods receipt, goods or service imported or exported. Also you have to maintain that kind of record. The rule number 56 sub rule number 3 says that you have to also maintain a separate account of advance receipt, advance paid and adjustment made therefrom. There too. So maintain also the account of advance receipt, advance payment and adjustment in respect of advance receipt and advance payment. So because in the GST you know that when you receive the advance you have to pay tax on it also, but there is also a notification where they says like if your turnover is 1.5 crore then you don't need to maintain that kind of a, don't need to pay tax on the advance tax, advance receipt, advance payment. So I'm assuming that your turnover is exceeding 1.5 crore, so you have to pay tax on the advance payment or advance receipt. So you have to also maintain the record of this. Next one is rule number 56 sub rule number 4. It says like you have to maintain the record of tax payable, tax collected and paid, input tax credit claimed. So maintain the record of tax payable, tax collected and paid, input tax credit availed. So this kind of thing also. And tax payable means tax payable under section 9 subsection 3 and 9 subsection 4 also. So tax payable means reverse charge also. So you have to maintain the accounting record of tax payable, tax collected, input tax credit also, input tax credit claim also. So maintain the record of this also. And rule number 56 sub rule number 12 deals with in case you are a manufacturing unit. So if you are a manufacturer then you have to also give the detail or maintain the record. So record is like this: every registered person manufacturing goods shall maintain monthly production account. So you have to maintain the monthly production account, and in that monthly production account you have to show the quantitative detail of raw material or service used in manufacture and quantitative detail of goods so manufactured including the waste and byproduct thereof. So you have to maintain the record of production, monthly production, and in this you have to also show the quantitative detail of raw material and finished raw material and services which is used in the manufacture, and the quantitative detail of goods produced, goods so manufactured including the waste and byproduct thereof. Then rule number 56 sub rule number 13 deals with the supply of service. So in case you are a supplier of service, you have to also maintain the record, and the record is like every registered person supplying service shall maintain the accounts showing the quantitative detail of goods used in the provision of service, detail of input service utilized, and the service supplied. So three kind of a thing you have to maintain in case you are a supplier of service. First one is like the quantitative detail of goods which is used in the provision of service, then detail of input service which you utilize, and the service supplied by you. So service supplied by you, input goods used for provisioning of service, and then the detail of input service which you utilize for the provision of service. So this kind of a record you have to maintain. So just like the accounting record of the goods, like raw material, finished goods, opening, debit, credit, closing, just like this maintain. Then import and export related data you have to also maintain, advance receipt, advance payment or adjustment thereof. Also tax payable, tax collected, input tax credit claimed, input tax credit, just like this also maintain. In case of manufacturing units, then you have to also maintain the quantitative detail of raw material or service used in the manufacture, and also how many goods you have manufactured, including the waste and byproduct thereof. In case of a service supplier, then inputs which is used in the provision of service, and like the service you supplied, and also the quantity detail of goods used in the provision of service. So you have to also maintain the record of this. So this one is under 56, rule number 56. So lot of sub rule is there, so just I tell you, so check it out and just do it. If you have any query, then ask me on the comment section. So rule number 56, sub rule number 15 also says something about the like electronic form. So if you are maintaining the record in electronic form, then rule number 56, sub rule number 15 allow you then to maintain the record into the electronic form. So it says like this: the record under the provision of this chapter may be maintained in the electronic form, and the record so maintained shall be authenticated by means of a digital signature. So if you are maintaining the record in electronic means, then you have to also maintain it, and you can maintain it, but the thing is that you have to authenticate it by way of a digital signature. So rule number 56, sub rule number 15 says you can maintain the record in electronic form. Then rule number 56, sub rule number 7 says that where to keep the books of account. It says like every registered person shall keep the books of account at the principal place of business. So you have to maintain the books in the principal place of business, and books of account related to additional place of business mentioned in his certificate of registration. So in case of additional place of business, you have to also maintain the books of account into the principal place of business, just like this. So do the thing. And one more important thing, how many number of years you have to maintain the books of account. So it says like section number 36, not rule number 56, section number 36 deals with you about how many years you have to maintain the record. So it says like you have to retain the record until the expiry of 72 months, or you can say 6 years. So you have to retain the record until the expiry of the 72 months from the due date of furnishing of annual return for the year pertaining to such accounts and record. Like for the year ended like 17-18, so whatever will be the due date of the 17-18, so from the due date of the filing of annual return of the 17-18, you have to maintain that record for 72 months. It means like 6 years, 5 6 just 72, so means 12 6 just 72. Oh, sorry. So you have to maintain the record for the 72 months, or you can say 6 years. So that is the time limit for which you have to maintain the record. And then rule number 56 also deals with a lot of things like backup. You have to also maintain the backup so that you can easily get the access. So it's not like that your system has been bugged or virus type. So you have to protect your system so that you can get the backup from it. So it's your duty to take such kind of a measure so that you can easily get the backup from the hard disk or something like that. And then that rule number 56 also deals with the accounting for record to be maintained in case you are a works contractor. So works contractor also have to maintain the separate account for works contract related cheese. and so lot of other thing is there, so just check it out. And then it also deals with a record to be maintained by owner or operator of go down or warehouse and transporter. So in case you are a transporter, owner or operator of go down, so you have to also fulfill some conditions which rule number 58 says to you. So because that is specific cases, so I'm not gonna tell you about it. And then also rule number 56 sub rule number 5 also says you something. It says like you have to, every registered person shall keep the particulars of the name and complete address of the supplier from whom he has received the goods or service chargeable to tax under the act. So name and address of supplier, you have to also keep the particulars of that. And then the name and complete address of the person to whom he has supplied the goods or service where required under the provision of this act. So you have to also means name and complete address of the person to whom has been supplied goods. So in case you are supplier of goods, supplying the goods, so name of the customer, you have to also give a particular of the name and address of it. And the complete address of the premises where the goods are stored by him. So in case you are storing the goods, so complete address of the premises and including the good stored during transit along with the particulars of the stock stored therein. So in case goods are storing in the transit and you are storing something, that you have to also keep the record of this. So this kind of thing is there. There's also a lot of other sub rules which I'm not gonna tell you at this moment because that may be specific or that may not be relevant to you. The video would be too long if I will tell you about all these things. So I hope you have understood it in a like brief manner. So I will suggest you to completely read out rule number 56 to get the more information, because I cannot tell each and every single thing into this video. So check it out. If you have any query, ask me on the comment section, and if you like the video, then like this video. And if you are watching this video and you are not the part of this channel, and if you haven't subscribed the channel, then what are you doing, man? Are you good, bro? And think that you are not a good thing because you are not subscriber of this channel and you watching the video. What the hell is this? Just subscribe the channel and become the part of this channel. And also comment like, how am I looking in this professional look? Am I looking good? But wait. Do you want to see me from the top to bottom? Then check it out.
If I was your boyfriend